Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we're going to begin right here with this article on U.Today, and it is titled 3 Metrics That Herald a Price Surge. They're saying a price surge is coming. Did you see XRP at 58 cents? I don't know about you, but I like it every time it goes up there. And I'm just saying to myself, let's go to 60. Let's go to 60. So the first thing they put up here is a noteworthy real volume spike. The most glaring feature in the recent XRP metrics is a significant spike in its real volume. This spike reflects a sharp rise in trading activity on a specific date. Such surges usually suggest renewed interest, potentially driven by insider information, strategic partnerships, interesting, isn't it? Or regulatory developments. When volume spikes are not accompanied by a drastic price change, it can hint at a latent price movement waiting to manifest. Well, there's been very gradual movement. I think that was I noticed that. I think that's significant. I really do. So last I looked, we were at 58. It may have come down a little bit. There was a huge amount of XRP moved off of an exchange to a private wallet. But then keep in mind, so this is why I'm keeping my eye on this. There was also a huge amount of XRP around that same time moved from a private wallet to an exchange. So there could be some selling that may occur. I'm not sure if that's going to have an effect, but I'm keeping my eye on it. That in combination with everything that's going on with U.S. Treasuries, I'm just keeping my eyes open. So we could see some volatility, a little bit more volatility. We're already seeing volatility, but you get what I'm saying. It says circulating market caps roller coaster. The circulating market cap of XRP underwent a sharp decline, moved into a consolidation phase, and then witnessed a bullish uptrend. This journey can be indicative of a market correction in response to external factors or speculative activities. However, the subsequent stabilization suggests that the asset found its, quote, true value and was poised for an upswing. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. We have a lot of good, powerful articles today. So now this next article is from coinpedia.com, and it is titled XRP to exceed its all-time high. Then we're going to scroll down to the section that's titled Conclusion. It says, the cryptocurrency market is at an intriguing crossroads. I think a lot of markets are at an intriguing crossroad. But to juxtapose, I think a lot of other markets are in trouble. They're in big trouble. And I think they're going to go through what we have been going through for quite some time. But the cryptocurrency market is on the verge of a turnaround. Big, major turnaround. And the big money knows that the crypto market is where the major capital can be made very quickly. And everybody wants capital to be made quickly. Nobody wants to wait years and months. No, they want something to pop off in a bull run and just make absurd amounts of capital in short amounts of time. The only things that have been able to do that are cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Now, you know what's interesting about the NFTs, then we'll get back to this, right? Is that there's a lot of articles coming out now that are very, very negative towards the NFT market, which the NFT market will come back, but it will be different. I told people that before, and everything will be worth more, not less. But it's depending on what you collected. Fine art, the tokenization of all of these different real world assets, that's going to dominate. Those things are going to dominate. And this is why I said that the market was, I said this a long time ago, that the market was going to change from colorful monkeys and, you know, things like that being sold to something more serious, fine art and other real world assets that have been tokenized. That's going to dominate, and that's going to bring trillions. And that's why the big businesses are getting in. They're all working on what? Tokenization of all kinds, right? But anyway, this one here says Ripple is capturing the spotlight as it aims to exceed, they mean XRP. I hate when they say Ripple, XRP, aims to exceed its all-time high and reach $7. This is what a lot of people are discussing apparently right now. First, I like to see it just break through $1. Break through $1, then I'm looking at the $2 to $5 range after a lot of volatility. And that's depending on the catalyst, because given the right catalyst, XRP could take off like a rocket. Now, this is not financial advice. I got to say that. Sorry. I put it on the screen too, but it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But given the right catalyst, number one, as far as the banks and big companies, then geopolitical tensions. I mean, there's so much going on right now. And I would love to get an update on those commercial banks that Ripple should be bringing in a good swath of over the next year or so. XRP could take off like a rocket at any moment when one of those catalysts is actualized and rears its head. All right. So at that time, we get past that $2 to $5 range, $7 will be nothing. I think then people will either have sold. A lot of people will be gone by then. They're sitting on a lot of XRP. They don't need a high price. That's why a lot of them are like, they just push Shaw a high price because they don't need it. Same thing with a lot of XLM holders. They don't need a high price to get their gains. I said that before. This happened the first time. People don't remember that last bull run when we first came in, and people didn't need a high price, and they were feasting, they were capitalizing. It's going to happen again, but by that time, only true believers will be left, and I think that's when the price could really go up significantly because only the true believers in XRP, in a higher price XRP, and companies will be left, and I think that's when the companies will know we can go berserk. They know there's still a little bit of retail to shake out. Not a lot, but if they can, they will shake them out. And then they will play. I think they're going to dominate. I said this a lot of times in the past, and it will skyrocket. I don't know how high, but I just know it's going to be exciting. That I know. So now let's move on here to this next article. So this article here is from the Bitcoinist.com, and it is titled Ripple Swell Top Predictions. Let's go here. Let's see what they're talking about. So the first prediction, I'm skipping a lot. I got to get to that fun stuff. I don't care. It says an IPO announcement. The potential IPO announcement stands out as the most anticipated revelation. The ongoing legal battle with the U.S. SEC has been a significant roadblock to its public offerings plans, but this has changed with the progress and the latest victories for Ripple. Community member Agent Smith weighed in on this, stating, quote, Ripple can tell the SEC it doesn't matter if they're in court or not when they submit their IPO. The SEC just has to make sure the paperwork is in order, and they don't have to examine the underlying business model. Precedent Coinbase IPO, unquote. It says, okay, so that's one. Let's see what the other one is. A VARA license. Speculation is also rife regarding Ripple's VARA license, Virtual Assets and Regulatory Authority license application in the UAE. As you know, we are deep in the MENA region already. We've covered this on the channel before with Atajari Wafa, with QNB. Go look up those banks and their connection with XRP and Ripple. If you haven't already, I know we have a lot of new people on the channel. They might not know that. So yeah, I'm giving you little jewels here and there. So this would be good. This would just get us that much deeper. It says the presence of Henson Orser, CEO of VARA, at the event, coupled with the company's recent strategic moves, underscores the significance of this development. A successful acquisition of the VARA license could herald a swift, pun intended, and robust expansion phase for the company in the UAE. Now, also, and this, now, how do you put this third? This doesn't make sense to me. This is where the big money is right here. This is what I'm here to make some money off of XRP. Now, this is third. It says CBDC. See how I got excited? Because when I hear CBDCs, I hear money. When I hear stablecoin, I hear money. CBDCs and stablecoin / tokenization. The role of central bank digital currencies and the broader realm of stablecoin and tokenization could be another focus of the conference. Given the global shift towards CBDCs and Ripple's strong focus on this line of business, Swell could provide insights into Ripple's position and potential collaborations in this evolving landscape. No doubt in my mind, we're going to connect. It's not about running the CBDC directly, not necessarily, but we can connect all of them together, and they have been struggling. That's a fact. With interoperability. Did you read the last BIS document they put out? Right? Where they're pretty much crying about interoperability. Oh, the private sector. Yeah. I hope they keep doing that because it's going to bring the money right to us. Ripple and SEC settlement. We've heard this type of talk before. I'll wait to just hear it. I'm not going to speculate on that, honestly, but it is possible that that could happen. I just defeated my own self, but like I'm not going to speculate. It's not really speculation, but it could be possible, but I'm not concentrating on it is what I mean. It says, and then impact on XRP price. We'll see. Everything that's positive is a buildup, in my humble opinion. It's not, I don't think we're supposed to see it right now, but it all adds up to how soon we can see it later. Does that make sense? So now let's move on to this next article here. I think we're cooking today. Oh, so yeah, this little interesting thing here from the cryptobasic.com. This was pretty interesting. So it says XRP wallet Zoom to let users buy XRP with 0 fees. Oh, I like it. It says for a limited time. I guess. All right. It's good enough, right? For a limited time, Zoom and a new partnership with Uphold is enabling users to buy XRP for 0 fees. Zoom and XRPL enable non-custodial wallet has doubled down on its support for XRP through a 0 fee promotion period launched in a new partnership with popular crypto service provider Uphold. Zoom users taking advantage of the limited time offer can buy XRP for free between October 30th and October 31st. Only 2 days? What? Like I said, I guess it's better than nothing, but 2 days, man. All right. It says the offer can be accessed through the Xtopper app on the Zoom wallet. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Good job, Zoom. Good job, Uphold. I like what you're doing. And this is going to be good for a lot of people, right? It says, while the opportunity to buy XRP is for a limited time, Zoom's latest offering is enabled through a long-term integration. Specifically, Zoom's recently integrated Topper, an on-ramp protocol developed by Uphold. The offering, what? It's a typo here. The offering enables Zoom users to buy XRP and other XRPL supported assets with debit and credit cards. However, the core advantage that Zoom's Topper integration has over other existing solutions is its focus on a high conversion rate. This means that users will have a higher successful transaction rate, thus eliminating the possibility of failed purchases. Does that happen? Like I wouldn't know. So now let's move on here. So I want to read this a little bit here. You can skip this chapter if you want to, but this is one of my absolute favorite. Voila. In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi now vacant vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta held as votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and virtuous. Verily, this vichyssoise of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it is my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V. I don't know, I just love that, the way it just flows so nicely. The words, there's so many words in there to, when you first hear it, to absorb and to learn, right? I liked it. It was such a strange opening and it's very poetic. I actually have the what do you call it? The graphic novel. I actually have the graphic novel of V for Vendetta. I also have the graphic novel of Frank Miller's Sin City and, those as well. Excellent works of art, in my humble opinion. I have those right next to my All You Need Is Kill manga, however you want to pronounce that. That's another great one, right? But I just wanted to share that because I always love that little piece of dialogue there. So now, and it is titled UK Treasury Reveals Final Blueprint for Crypto Stablecoin Governance. We're getting close to regulatory clarity and regulations being rolled out everywhere. We're getting closer and closer with each day, which means that money is coming. This is another reason why all of the big businesses are getting in position. The UK Treasury unveiled definitive proposals for regulating crypto assets and stablecoins on Monday. The government intends to implement regulations in stages. Sorry, there's like a pop-up here blocking everything. My apologies, folks. It says the subsequent phase will address the wider crypto asset sector as outlined in 2 policy documents. These suggestions come after consultation released in February about the upcoming financial services regulatory structure for crypto assets in the UK. Numerous companies and stakeholders actively participated in the consultation, offering insights to refine the government's proposed approach. Quote, while most aspects of our proposals were well received by the large majority of respondents, we have modified certain features of our future framework to take on board the evidence presented, unquote, Andrew Griffith, Economic Secretary to the Treasury, said in a statement. The Treasury aims to regulate fiat-backed stablecoins in 2 key areas: their use in payment systems and their issuance and storage within the UK, regardless of specific applications. The suggested regulations will place specific fiat-backed stablecoins under the oversight of the Bank of England. That's interesting. They're working hand in hand with Quant, Financial Conduct Authority, and the Payment Systems Regulator. Together, they will work to reduce the potential harm to consumers and address the conduct, financial stability, and other risks associated with these stablecoins, especially when used for transactions. The Treasury also detailed plans to regulate broader crypto-related actions, such as trading, custody, and lending. This consultation suggested frameworks for market misconduct, as well as issuing and disclosing crypto assets. Okay, we're going to stop there. So big things continue to happen. So now we get to another chapter of just something interesting to share around this very creepy holiday coming up called Halloween. I didn't want to make it too creepy or anything like that. But this is just about the Roman Emperor Caligula, because, you know, I love history. I love learning about history and some of these former rulers and how things once were. I think there's a lot to gain, a lot of insight into the different types of people, you know, archetypal people that walk the earth, you know. But anyway, it is also very creepy. So this is from OneDreamDaily.com, and it's about Caligula. All right, here he goes. At the time of his accession, Caligula was 25 years old. His father, Germanicus, had been very popular, and this affection carried over to Caligula. Although he had been granted many titles, Caligula had very little practical experience with governing. Most of his youth had been spent either in the palace or with Tiberius on Capri, where he had grown up in an unhealthy atmosphere of constant plotting and paranoia. Nevertheless, he charmed the Senate and the people and the army with his initial behavior. Caligula, this is why you got to be careful with people. Caligula distributed huge amounts of cash as gifts to the people of Rome and also to the soldiers. He staged extravagant beast hunts, chariot races, spectacles, and entertainments for the amusements of the city's inhabitants. The Senate and upper-class Romans were pleased by his cutting of taxes on the sale of slaves and by his demeanor towards them, which was respectful and conciliatory. Be careful of people who come to you with a lot of gifts for nothing, right? There's never for nothing. Late in 37 AD, Caligula fell ill with some sort of brain fever. Afterward, his behavior changed. Whether this change was an effect of the illness, as some sources claim, or whether his true nature began to assert itself once he felt securely in charge, is unclear. He became increasingly erratic and cruel. He had Macro executed and forced Gemellus, his fellow joint heir and potential rival, to commit I can't say that word on YouTube. He terrorized and humiliated members of the Senate. There were many rumors of Caligula's depravity, including that he supposedly committed incest with all 3 of his sisters. He had a Roman, I know this is disgusting, but it's for Halloween. It's for Halloween. It's a piece of history, you know. What can I do? I can't change history. He had Roman citizens murdered. For flimsy excuses, he took pleasure from watching his victims be tortured, even goading his executioners on, calling, quote, make him feel that he is dying, unquote. Bro, this dude was insane. Holy smokes. I know about Caligula, but every time I read about it, I'm shocked. He liked to whisper in his lover's ears, Wait, what did he whisper? Wait a minute. I got to read this before I read it to you. Hold on a second. Wait, pause. Oh, okay. I can have your beautiful throat, anytime that I like. Sorry, I had to read that before, pre-screen it. Once, when presiding over the sacrifice of a bull, instead of bringing down the hammer on the animal's cranium, Caligula instead deliberately bludgeoned to death the priest assistant who held the bull's head. Bruh, what? Some of his cruelties, while not overtly deadly, had capricious, arbitrary nature. He would order that the awnings provided shade for the crowds at public entertainments be pulled back at the hottest time of day. If he ran across a man with a thick head of hair, he would have him seized and his scalp roughly shaved on the spot, as Caligula himself was balding. Then it goes into Caligula squandering the treasury. Wow, there's so much here. So let's go to the section here titled The End of Caligula. I'm skipping a lot, of course. After less than 4 years of this behavior, many were fed up with Caligula, and a conspiracy formed to take him out. Among his leaders were several officers of the Praetorian Guard. One of these was a tribune named Cassius Chaerea, whom Caligula had taken particular delight in humiliating. On January 24, 41 AD, Caligula went to the theater to take part in festivities associated with the Palatine Games. He sacrificed a flamingo, watched some performances, and then around 1 o'clock headed back to the palace for lunch. Chaerea and some other officers intercepted Caligula and fell upon him with their swords, stabbing him 30 times. Whoa. This person lived an insane life. What is going on here? So, it's just, I like to, first of all, it's entertaining. It just gets that exhilaration pumping. But it also gives me insight into like people, different types of people. You got to be careful sometimes. Some people come to you one way and they're like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They can be very, very injurious to people's lives and such. And then it also, brings about the thoughts of people in power and acquiring power, and how people will behave one way once again to get into power. And once they get into power, it can be greatly misused. So if individuals are going to give power to someone, it would behoove them, which I know typically people don't care. They just put someone in power, but it would behoove them to vet that person and learn about them over time to make sure they are who they say they are, although that is quite difficult. But what a crazy story to read right before Halloween. Holy smoke. How was Caligula not haunting people? They got all these made up characters haunting people. You know how people say that, made up characters. But this dude is not one of those scary ghost demon figures haunting people. I doubt it. I bet you he's haunting somebody somewhere. Anyway, let's get back to the crypto news. What are you talking about? Let's what are you guys talking about out there? We got to be professional. So I have a bunch of gold news. Let's choose one. Let's choose a good one here. We're going to end off with this. So this is from businesstoday.in, and it's titled, Gold Prices May Soon Shoot Towards All-Time High of $2,080. Oh, yeah. I like the sound of that. It says the yellow metal depends on events in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, and traders are piling up on the safe haven offered by the metal. That's not the only thing a reason why. There's other conflicts going on as well that they're not talking about. I'm not going to mention it here, but there's a lot of reasons people are going towards gold as safe haven. Did you also see the new report that came out yesterday about the deposit flight, new deposit flight? So that's continuing. People are continuously pulling their money out of the banks. So there's that as well. It says the prices of gold could move towards an all-time high of $2,080. Risk comes from the possibility of redacted continuing its measured redacted strategy, the conflict and all. It says, nonetheless, the fact that no other nation has joined the redacted after 3 weeks is somewhat concerning for bulls. Okay. I see where they're going. Is just It says gold prices, quote, gold prices hover around the key $2,000 level as an escalating conflict kept the safe haven metal increasing. So they go into a little bit more of that. But like I said, gold, I think, is going to continue to build this higher low. I think it's going to stay floating there. A lot of people before called for it to drop significantly, and it really didn't, in my humble opinion. As long as it stays within that 1900 to 2000 range, it's in range to hit that 2080 or even $2,100. It goes up that quickly. Because of its very nature of being a safe haven. And then a lot of people are becoming comfortable with gold. Now they know how to buy it. Now they know how to store it. They know how to test it for, for it to be legit. They know how to use it. They're getting gold cards. So it's going to be easier and easier for them to not only use gold, but to purchase it in the future, to hold it, to use it as a currency outright, right? So that changes. That's all changing the dynamic of where the price of gold hovers, consolidates, and where it can go. And it has a super brilliant future, in my humble opinion. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the Monday.